Hey everyone, hope you're doing really well. This is Chef Briantsao Raw, the final life update video. That is right. This is going to be the last time I give you guys a life update on Chef Briantsao Raw because, big news, this channel is going to be changed into the SYWGF, So You Want to Get Fat podcast channel. Man, has a lot happened since I've done one of these life update videos. You guys know, approximately 6-7 months ago, my shop was on the verge of closure. Did a lot of work, was broken down, rebuilt again. And, I believe I mentioned in the last life update video that things are looking up. And I'm very proud to say, while, we have to sustain this, we're good. Business has been great. And we are, I haven't gotten October's P&L yet, but I am 99.9% certain we are going to show a strong profit. And with all the systems in place and everything we've changed, all the new products we offer, all the new, just everything. I believe we will be just fine from here on out. And I guess going back to why is this the last life update? Why is the Chef Briantsao Raw channel going away? Well, I started this channel just because I was going through so much, and I was failing. My restaurant was failing. I was failing. And it was a form of therapy, and it was also my opportunity to show people out there, because this is very important to me. This is a lesson I fidget a lot. This is a lesson that I teach my daughter, as young as she is. My older daughter, that is. My youngest daughter is way too young right now to learn these lessons. But, the lesson is that life is hard, and that don't believe everything you see on TV. Don't believe everything that people tell you. In the age of social media, it's so easy to get lost and to feel inferior and to feel like you're missing out and all this stuff. And I just knew what I was going through is probably what more people are going through than people that are living lavish lives and driving luxury cars and wearing luxury watches and stuff like that. So I shared my story, and it also made me very accountable to you, my wonderful audience. I had to downsize Mission Sandwich Social's office space. That was one of the reasons why we moved out of that office space and why the YouTube operations were moved into Le Rivage. But it was also moving into Le Rivage, moving in with Frenchy. I saw an opportunity to build something really cool with Frenchy, because clearly the audience responded. And clearly, him and I were both having a fucking blast. So I approached him and said, listen, would you want to start a new channel together? I think we should do a podcast, because you and I can literally just riff for hours, and it is so much fun. And it was and he said yes. And when we agreed to make this happen, it was probably the worst time for me to upend my YouTube operation, move it somewhere else, and start another channel in addition to running my business, failing business, in addition to everything that was going on. My band, child coming, all this stuff, new child coming rather. And, but I am always a firm believer that the greatest lessons in life are learned during the hardest of times. And I knew also that if I work through this and push myself to work through this, that the results will probably be well worth it. And that's exactly what I did. I knew that for this short of time that I would suffer immensely, afterwards would be smooth not smooth sailing, but the reward would be well worth it. And I'm very glad to say that it was. Because by moving here, number one, I'm fully separated from home life, from band life, from restaurant life, and I have to focus on the channel, right? Not that I have to focus on the channel because I still get distracted, but I am here, so I may as well make the best of it. I can look at the cameras on my phone at the restaurant all I want. I won't get there for an hour minimum. You know, even though I'm not that far away physically, but with New York traffic, I am stuck here, right? So, okay, I'm here. Let me make the best of it. And man, have I been so much more productive in this space. And also, you know, Frenchy and I are not nearly on much of a time crunch. I'm not as nervous, you know, so the podcasts have been going so well. And the response from you guys has been absolutely overwhelmingly positive, and we are definitely punching up in our weight on views. Every single episode that comes out, the view duration is longer and longer, meaning you guys are listening for longer and longer. And ultimately, you know, it's super fun for me because I'm a gearhead. I'm a tweaker. You know, I love gear. I love building things. You know, I have a little tool corner in my basement where I work on my guitars, and I always like to do little house projects. Not to say I'm good at them, but I always like that stuff. You know, my dad's a mechanic. I grew up with tools my whole life. And also he's an old school mechanic where he would fix things. He would build things to fix things. So I grew up with that mentality of trying to fix things and tweak things and modify things. Anyway, the original intent for the podcast was to release a couple of pilots and put it on Raw just as grounds of experiment, get viewer feedback, make little adjustments. And also, you know, I'm not working on it full time, so I have to do it in bits and pieces. So I knew the process would get drawn out, but I'm a firm believer in just going for it. You're not fully prepared? Well, dive into the deep end of the pool and figure it the fuck out. You may drown, but if you have good people around you, if you have a lifeguard around, fuck it. Jump into the deep end of the pool. You know you'll live, right? Don't really do that. Okay? But I just went for it. I turned on the cameras and started filming, and in each episode, you can literally see the progress of everything being hung up, lights being installed, right? One by one, little by little, audio improving, all this stuff. And anyway, we were going to do a few pilot episodes, which is why the episodes have been labeled 0 and then 0.25 and 0.5 on so on and so forth, because in my eyes, the podcast isn't officially launched. But anyway, the response has been so much better than I expected, than Frenchy expected. Frenchy's just having fun. It's his world, and we just live in it, you know. As long as I keep it fun for him, he doesn't care. Well, he does care, but you know what I mean. But the views have definitely been way more than I ever anticipated. And it just got to the point, it's like, well, why? We already have the So You Want to Get Fat YouTube channel. It's there. The logo is up and all that stuff. The banner is up. But the intent was, okay, do a few podcast episodes on Raw. Raw will continue to be the channel where I put my life updates and stuff, or whatever I want. If I want to do music content, such and such. And then we'll, you know, tell everyone to go over to So You Want to Get Fat channel. Well, it's been performing so strong. We've gained so many subscribers. It's like, well, that seems like kind of dumb at this point. So we're going to rename Chef Briantsao Raw to the SYWGF podcast. And this is going to be where all podcast episodes come out weekly. So we will put a podcast out every week, which we have been for the last month. We have like 4 episodes banked up. And, you know, we're going into the holidays, so I anticipate us missing a few weeks. You know, that's why we want to bank up some episodes. But we're also still figuring things out. There's so much detail that goes into this stuff, and especially myself with a chef background and how OCD I am and ADD. I'm not diagnosed or anything, but just there's so much I want to do and so much I want to tweak, but I also don't want to miss out on the opportunity of sharing these really fun conversations I have with Paul. So this channel, every week, new podcast episode will come out. And the So You Want to Get Fat channel, which has like 400 or 500 subscribers right now with nothing on it, I think with one episode on it, the very first one, that will turn into a clips channel. That is where we are going to update all of our clips, highlights from the podcast, which I think will be fun. And you can expect those episodes to get, you can expect videos eventually, I think maybe starting next year. You can expect clips to be uploaded every day, and I am so fucking excited. Hang on, I need to drink some water. I'm getting parched. So, oh, by the way, this band, Mother Feather, check them out. They're the best band you haven't heard of yet. Fucking love that band. So, Chef Briantsao channel will still stay the Chef Briantsao channel, but Frenchy is officially the co-host of Pro Chef Reacts, which is, pretty much the only show I do on that channel. For obvious reasons. It's fun. It's fucking fun. We're here. We see each other twice a week. It's so easy to just keep the cameras rolling, throw on our chef coats and talk food. Because ultimately, that's what brought us together, and that's our, world of expertise. So Frenchy will be in pretty much every episode, maybe one or two here and there where he won't be. He, has a YouTube profile. He hasn't set up a channel. I don't think he will. He has no plans to start his own channel because he won't have me to do the production. But he's able to comment, and I think you guys may have noticed he's been commenting. That is legit him. And yeah, that's the gist of it. The podcast is actually available now on Spotify. I just haven't made the official announcement yet because I'm waiting for Apple to come on board. It's not done yet. So once that is on board, then I will make the announcement. We're now available for audio on audio streaming platforms. But if you have Spotify, you can listen now on Spotify. I think that's it. I'm so fucking excited, man. It's going to be a blast, So SYWGF podcast, that's where podcast episodes are going to come out. Clips channel. And then as far as the studio space, this is our main room. This is HQ. Beyond those green doors, I guess I can show you, right? Those green doors, that's another room, a much bigger room. And that is where we are going to set up a studio kitchen. But again, much like it took us time to start this room, it is going to take a long time to set up that room. We are going to be filming a cooking video in the dining room of Le Rivage, but don't expect that to happen often. So shop's doing great. I have a new baby girl. And it was worth the fucking fight. It is worth the fight. Ugh. I really hope you guys take that away from this. If you are struggling with anything, if you have any self-doubt, I am 20 years into my career, and only now do I have my own restaurant. Successful restaurant. Profiting restaurant. Is it successful after 5-6 years? Who knows? But as of right now, I stand before you, a man 20 years into his career, only now opening his own restaurant successfully. YouTube channel views have been up. Just everything is working out, and you don't hear that often. But the more important part is that I was really down in the dumps, and I just chose to fight. And I know a lot of people out there, and this is the main reason why I'm doing this video. I know a lot of people out there struggle with even just getting up out of bed, finding the motivation to keep moving forward. If there's one superpower I have, I always say this, it's that I'm super stubborn and just don't give up. And I am telling you, just show up. I am telling you, just one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 second at a time. Just put one foot in front of the other, and I promise you, I fucking promise you, eventually there will be results. You have to be willing to adapt and pivot. You have to be willing to accept failure, but I fucking promise you, you will have results. And I am living proof of that. Okay? I am living proof of that. Getting a little emotional there towards the end. I am grateful for every single one of you. Thank you so much for your support through everything. It's your views, it's your purchasing of merch, it's the patrons, it's, everybody who contributes in the smallest and biggest of ways that has brought me to where I am today. And I will never forget that. I will never, ever, ever forget that. I will never allow myself to forget where I came from. And while Chef Brian Sao Raw is going away, while this will be the last time I do a life update on this channel, I will sporadically do it on my Patreon. I just don't have the time to do it regularly. I certainly will give some life updates, but it will be on Patreon. I'm not trying to sell you on Patreon, okay? But, I do offer exclusive content over there. If you're interested, go check it out. Absolutely no pressure. That's not the point of this video. But this channel, I'm more focused on the bigger thing, which is the podcast with Frenchy. It's just been so much fun, and the momentum has been so great. So I think that's it. There's not much else I can think of. We're going into the holidays. I can't think of a better way to go into the holidays because I have never been more grateful in my life. So thank you, everybody. Wow. And I'm about to say this, and it's never meant more. Don't be afraid to fail because it can only make you stronger. And with that said, I'm Chef Brian Sao, not your typical chef, and I'll see you really soon.